So this past week, I bought one of the Ultra-Shear juice groove bits that Woodpeckers is now selling. And it just came in, so I figured I'd try it out. Comes in a little case, a little big for the bit, but that's okay. And one of their rack bit pieces, I assume they sell these, but allows you to put in both quarter and half-inch router bits. But what's interesting is this is a carbide-tipped piece. It's their Ultra-Shear, so there's 3 flutes on it, which means I can run it pretty slow in the router. You don't want it too fast. And but it's a brazed carbide tip on a steel shank. And you can kind of see that when you look at it. You can see the brazing, the gold brazing, right along that edge. So that's kind of interesting. It's a little bit different than a typical bit with a steel shank and a carbide tip. So we're going to try this out and see how it works. They have 3 different versions of these bits. This one is a 1/4 inch radius, so it'll make a 1/2 inch wide groove, a 1/4 inch deep, and then it's radiused out at the top with a little bit of a flare so that it doesn't dig into the cutting board top if you're a little bit too deep. That's a detail that I've actually used in the past when I was doing custom tooling, so it's kind of a cool thing. Anyway, we're going to mount this up in the router and give it a try. I began by carefully setting up stop blocks at each end of the router fence to limit the length of the cut. Then, holding the cutting board tight to the fence, I lowered it onto the bit, letting the cut reach the full depth as I moved along. Once the board met the stop, I carefully reversed direction, drawing it backwards until it met the other stop. Once both stops are hit, take a second and make a quick cleanup pass. Be careful throughout the cut to make sure that the board stays tight against the fence. The stops on the fence are then reset to cut the narrow sides of the board. It's the same procedure, and the same care needs to be taken as you make the cuts. I've got the router set to about 13,000 RPM, a little slower than I might otherwise run a 1/2 inch bit, because with 3 flutes instead of 2, you're getting extra friction, so the lower RPM helps to reduce that and prevent burning. And if your cutting board or serving tray is relatively thin, you can reset the stops yet again and use this bit with the board standing on edge to cut some finger grooves. Again, pay attention and take care. This will be an end grain cut, and it's going to feel different than the others. This bit feels good and works well at the router table. Just remember to keep the speed a little bit lower than normal to prevent burning. Once I finished with the router table, I wanted to see how the bit worked in my CNC machine. The triple flute bit allowed me to turn it a little bit slower and move a little faster than I might normally, which is a nice benefit, and it cuts very cleanly. You can always tell when you have the feed and speed correct for your bit. The machine is cutting nice large flakes with no dust. I did use 2 passes for the juice groove in the pocket, because the bit has a 1/4 inch shank. That means it's going to flex a little bit more if you drive it too hard, and there's no reason to do that in this case. Woodpeckers offers this bit in 3 different styles, and they're basically $50 each. I got them on sale for $40, and I think that's a really good bargain. But if you do a lot of cutting boards, the $50 price point is perfectly fine. We appreciate you spending your time and watching this video. Be sure to like and share the video, and subscribe to the Woodcademy channel. It really does help us keep bringing you free content.